people that they should be aware of for the rest of the afternoon?
The hurricane isn't even here yet.
The gusty winds will be a problem for the next 6 hours.
Windy. Trees are down.
Central New England.
But it's not here yet.
Later on. The old adage in New England was hard.
We're heading back to our
before
motel.
breakfast and you're going before dinner. That's exactly what Irene told me.
Steve, one last question. It still doesn't seem to be weakening, though. It seems to remain at 75 miles an hour, and it is now moving at a quicker pace at 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, I think by this next advisory at 11 o'clock this morning from the Hurricane Center, we'll downgrade it from Category 1 to a tropical storm. It's already showing signs of that happening. So once it moves inland, and it did, came across New Jersey and now up Andrea City, the weakening process begins fairly quickly.
All right, from ABC6, we've been talking through the whole situation with Hurricane Irene and Steve Cashoni. Now, folks, coming up, we are going to speak with Sarah. We'll speak with Mayor Adelation. We'll also, once again, check in with National Grid. Go to our website, 630WPRO.com. It's Operation Hurricane. Keep in mind that our coverage continues all day long. I'll be with you until noon. Then noon before Terry Rainey and Andrew Robille.
That car's going to hit us.
Takes over tonight with Matt Allen. Matt Allen and Jim Hummel tonight from 48, and then Steve Cass
Slow
at 8
down.
o'clock.
Slow
So
down.
continue right here on WPRO. Right
Because this is
now,
a wind
let's get
gust.
the latest with WPRO's Bill Harriman.
Look at it. And you want to go barrel through it? Take caution, my friend. Take caution.
On the hour, on the half, and when it breaks, Rhode Island station of record.
I've been in a tornado. This is a tornado. On land. It's called a Hurricane Irene.
Irene comes ashore again. New
Where's our
York's
motel
Coney
at?
Island. It is no longer a hurricane. Top winds now 65 miles an hour. As they say, that's enough. Major power problems developing both here in Rhode Island and up and down the East Coast. WPRO AccuWeather, very high winds, storm surges, heavy rain in places. Good morning. I'm Bill Haberman. This is the WPRO News.
Bobby. Here's Bobby's ducky.
9 o'clock, and WPRO's
Hi, Bubby's
Operation
ducky.
Hurricane continues. This is the sound, Newport. This is near First Beach, Memorial Boulevard in Newport.
Yeah, they had to go to
sounds
the
of
marina
Hurricane
and watch the boats.
Irene. And again, this is the sound of the storm Irene. There again, it's an electric reporting at least 40,000 electric customers in Rhode Island. They're in the dark. The AP is now estimating that 4 million people up and down the East Coast have no power with the storm. This is going to be the big
Yeah, I
story
can't
of the
even call
storm.
them
We're seeing in
motels,
addition
so
to
we're
the
staying
flooding that's
overnight.
taking place in New
Think
York.
your phones
Our
are down.
live coverage continues. We're
came
standing
down.
by at the EMA. We're going to have a briefing there. We're
Oh,
trying
right
to
on
get
their
live
house.
by WPRO's Carolyn Cronin. Carolyn.
Holy crap. Slow down so I can at least get
We're going to have
pictures
to move on. We do not have WPRO's Carolyn Cronin. It looks like
Where you going, Dad's
as we
house?
speak, is she with us there, Nikki?
I don't
Or-
wanna go
okay,
to
she's on
Dad's house.
WPRO's Carolyn Cronin. Is she with us live, Carolyn?
Hey there, Bill. Governor Casey is up at the podium here.
This
at
is
the
dumb,
state
going
EMA,
in where there's
and
trees.
we're gonna have
Look, you're gonna go right over it.
Rhode Islander. Basically, centering around staying off the road, keeping hunkered down during the storm, which, as we can see, looking at the windows here, is really starting to pick up. Also, their concern is power outages and preparedness. We are just you're in Governor Casey. Hi.
From the state. Thank you, Colonel. To thank Rhode Islanders for the good preparation for Hurricane Irene.
Ooh, look at that
We're
tree.
on the eastern side where we're getting the high winds and moderate rains. But with those high winds, of course, comes a lot of tree damage. Best job the
That's good.
streets getting your power back. Certainly for the safety of their workers, and I'm sure Rhode Islanders will understand
Took
that.
their power out.
Your power
Yep.
back. Clear the roads and
We need to go back
And you
to
can
our
see the
safe spot.
high winds in our area.
And we're getting a little help on the audio there from our partners at Channel 12. Let's go live now down to the South Coast. WPRO Steve Klemkin. Steve will join us now. Steve, as we try to get the governor's feed from emergency management, it's being affected by the weather. What's going on down there?
Well, Bill, I'm speaking to you from Charlestown now, alongside Route 1. Believe it or not, a place called the Windswept Inn, and it certainly is that and more this morning. An hour ago, you'll recall when I...
Steve, I'm going to jump in again. Steve, I think we're going to try to get emergency management now. We're going to try to get the latest.
For any reason, dial 211. Try and stay away from 911. Dial
Stay away from the
211 if you need to get a shelter or any other question you have on getting your power back on. 211 is the number to call. RIPTA service has been suspended for today. No bus, no RIPTA service running. And I urge you all to use common sense. And
we don't have any common sense on the street.
And that brings tree damage and loss of power. But National Grid's been good. They've done a lot of preparation before the storm, and they're at it, looking after the safety of their employees. Any questions?
Here it comes. Get worse.
Yeah, can you turn that down a little bit?
It's all over the state with the high winds and the trees coming down.
Back to motel, please. Go slow with this bridge.
As I said, safety of the National Grid employees is paramount, but they're very experienced and they're hard at work. There's a big lot of storm and a lot of teams out there working across the whole Northeast, so we're at it.
Where are we going?
Going to the hotel.
Why are you yelling? Don't go fast, please. Please.
Right now, as I was coming over, National Grid crews were still technically in the field, however,
slow down.
cannot
Can't see.
operate when the winds are staying north of 40 miles per hour. The reason's obvious. So as we speak right now, those crews could be being called in at this very moment. As the governor mentioned, we have some 61,000 customers out at this time. That's virtually every community in the state of Rhode Island, and they're also outages reported by Pasadena Utility District and Rock Island Power. So virtually every community in the state has been affected. As to
just like this on land,
obviously it depends on
where we are.
Once those sustained winds get down to a manageable level, those crews can get out there. You'll probably see a dramatic reduction initially in some of those outages because these are single crews that might be out, and that's a rather quick repair. So those numbers could start to come down in a big hurry, but again, we'll have to see how much damage we have out there. Certainly that will determine how long the recovery will happen.
Tomorrow morning,
visit the well staff.
Good.
Very, very professional volunteers and Red Cross personnel. So if you have any hesitation,
probably want to get up earlier than you were so we can assess our damage.
630 WPRO and 99.7
we're at the motel now.
Shane Fever at the Emergency Management Agency.
Good morning. Basically what we're seeing now is the lead element of the storm is a little bit ahead of that high tide, the evening high tide. The hurricane barrier in Providence was closed, and I'm sure that Public Safety Commissioner Parry could address that.
Okay, we're at a motel. Turn this off.
We're expecting the highest portion of the storm surge element for the morning high tide, which is right now, to take place this evening. We're expecting the winds will be sustained through this evening, and we'll monitor the tidal impacts on the southern coast, but we don't expect it to be as great as we had originally anticipated.